David, then without further ado, I yield the floor to you, so you're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Great. Yeah. Okay, hello. I'm David Yoon. So thank you so much for inviting me to speak at iSpring Days 2024. In the past, I worked as a system engineer at Yahoo Korea and Blizzard and a cloud marketing manager at Microsoft as well. And currently, I'm the CEO of Tumas, and Tumas is iSpring's distribution partner in Korea. I also co-work with Microsoft as Microsoft regional director and MVP. But actually, I'm not a Microsoft employee, but it's a core. Yep. Uh, Maybe you know about a lot of the company in Korea. Here is the iSpring Korean customers, including Nexon, the #1 gaming company, the Celltrion, the #2 bio company. Maybe you know the Samsung Electronics, right? They are already used iSpring solutions. All right. Today, we are going to talk about how to create e-learning content with generative AI. If you wanted to see the contents, here is the QR code and URL. So I will give you 3 seconds. All right. There are the 3 items on today's agenda. First, we are going to talk about e-learning trend. And second, we are talk about how to use generative AI to create e-learning content. And third, we will discuss what you need to consider when you are using the generative AI. Okay. So let's dive into our first topic, the e-learning trend. According to the Bloomberg, the intelligence, the generative AI market is expected to grow 42% annually and leads to 1,304 billion by 2032. It's a huge number. Maybe we know since the ChatGPT came into the world, everything has changed. Actually, my life also changed. Maybe Chris's life also changed. We are now living in the era of generative AI that brought to you by the ChatGPT. Since its launch in November 2022, ChatGPT has surpassed the 100 million users in just 2 months. This was the fastest growth rate of any service on the market at the time. So artificial intelligence is increasingly entering our daily life. In particularly, education is the one of the area where change is happening faster than in any other industry. The most important part of the L&D in 2024 is aligning training with the business goals. Upskilling employees and creating a learning culture is also important, but the real focus should be on helping employees develop their careers, which is up to 9 notches from last year. In school, it's becoming increasingly important to help a student learn on their own pace. So you can check the other side. So I don't have much time today, so I will skip the other stuff. So let's take a look at the latest e-learning trend. There are 5 e-learning trends. The first one is the micro-learning for hyper-personalized learning. The upskill and reskill for fast delivery of the fresh contents is so important as well. And micro-credential is also very important part of the e-learning trend. And also, nowadays, there is a lot of young people like Gen Z, right? So they need the immersive content. So, and also, today's topic is AI, right? So AI tutoring for personalized learning is so important. So how do you feel this need in the era of that's changing every day? So, but as we know, there are 3 problems we are facing. Maybe you guessed. The first one is the time, right? It takes too much time to create learning content. Can you leave us some emoji in the chat if you have any problem to create the contents. I also have a lot of time to spend to create a content. So the time is the most critical part of my life nowadays. And the second part is the cost, right? The large budget is spent on studio filming and editing to create e-learning content. The third one is human resource. We don't have a expert to create the high quality and engaging e-learning content, right? So that is why I just want to show you the problems, the solutions. So I challenge you to solve these three problems with generative AI. Okay. Okay. We can use generative AI to learning course design, content creation, reuse of old material, personalized learning, and AI tutoring. And here is some process that I give you the hint at first, that the content source, we can use our existing PDF and text video files, and also we can create the curriculum and authoring solutions through the iSpring suite. And finally, we can upload those contents to the LMS, right? But if we don't have any content, we can use the contents marketplace in the Go-On and LinkedIn Learning and Udemy through the iSpring Learn. Okay. So I will give you some demos with the Course Factory. Before that, I will give you some introduction about this solution. You can easily create a course from any PDF file you have with something like the Course Factory solution. So all you need to do is upload just a PDF file and set the learning object, audience, and duration, and just hit the generation button. That's it. After that, you can create lecture, script, quiz, and even videos with the AI humans all at once. Yeah, here is the
Hello,
videos.
everyone, and welcome to our online course, Green Skilling for the Digital World, a sustainable infrastructure perspective.
This is the AI human created by only when I used just one PDF file. So when you create those courses, so you can export the course file as a SCORM file and upload it to the iSpring Learn. So, but the most critical part of the e-learning content creation is the performance, right? So I will show you how to maximizing productivity for course content creation. The first one is we can create course content and script by Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 in Word file. And then we can convert it to the PowerPoint, the PPT file, and then we can just add some introduction video file through the Beyond. And also we can add immersive contents like role play and the quiz and interaction through the iSpring suite. After that, we can upload the course to the iSpring Learn. Okay, so I will show you the demos. Yeah. Okay, so here is the Microsoft Word file, and then I will click the blank document. There is nothing, right? We can start from here. You can also start with the file you already have, but I will start from the scratch. So can you see the Copilot icon in here? Okay. When I click the Copilot icon and then type, what is generative AI? And then just click the generate button. It takes about 30 seconds to create the contents in the Word file, right? So you just need to wait when they finish it. So when the file is finished, you can just press the keep it button, and then you can copy the link to here. So when you save it in the OneDrive, and after that you can wait, and here sometimes it happens. So that is why I already copy the file URL, and here when you upload the Word file in the OneDrive, you can click the PowerPoint, and here the blank presentation, right? So when you also click the upper right button, the Copilot button in here, create the presentation prompt file. So I will put the URL of the Word file in here and just press. This is the prompt. So only you need to do is just create the Word file and upload it to OneDrive, and then just copy the URL, and then you can create the PowerPoint, the slide from the file through the Microsoft Copilot. Yeah, it takes about 1 minute. So it's already 25%, right? The magic is that here. So we can easily create the PowerPoint slide deck through the Copilot, right? Maybe you already show this picture with the Microsoft, but here is the good thing of the iSpring suite. I will show you. When we create this presentation file, right, we can use iSpring suite text-to-speech. Here, manage narration, right? So when I click it, we have to save it first. So I will replace the previous one, and then I will put the original content here through the audio to text, right? The text to speech in here, right? And insert in some slide, right? And
Image synthesis, generative. I can create freely.
yeah, so you can create the whole other slide as well. So I just save it and close. I already upload the contents in the iSpring Learn. So, but if you create the course files, right, you wanted to add some video instruction, right? So in that case, you can leverage the Beyond. So I already prepared the Beyond. So here, so I paste the original contents in here and just put this prompt, create the video about this article, right? So I choose the template and choose the language. When I create the video file, right, it takes only 1 to 2 minutes to create the videos, right? So I already create the video as well. So I will show you. Okay. And then here is the file that I already create in here. This is the video file. So I will copy and paste. And here, right? Oh, sorry. When you copy, yeah, write this, right? So we can just add the introduction video file in here. But the problem is that if we create the courses, right, we need, what is the last thing in the course normally? Can you guess? Okay, just type in the chat. So normally we can add quiz, right? So I will insert just a blank slide in here, right? And then back to the iSpring suite and click the quiz. But before that, we have to create the quiz first, right? So I also prepared here. Yeah. iSpring suites support the bulk creation of the keys, right, through the Excel CSV file. So I just upload the sample, the quiz file here. The file looks like this. Hold on a second. Yeah, like this. True false and a multi-choice, right? I upload the file to the ChatGPT and put the prompt, please create a total 10 question for generative AI in an Excel file, referring to the attachment, right? And then the ChatGPT analyze the sample pie and create the 10 keys in here. So I will show you. Yeah, like this. And about the image file, I already created the image file through the DAL-E in the ChatGPT, right? So now we just click the keys first and then created keys. Okay, import keys. Yeah. And then we can add 10 keys with images like this. It takes only few minutes to finish to create the course, right? After that, we can just upload the course to the iSpring Learn, right? Here. So I already upload the course in here. Here is the course that I already uploaded, right? So I will click one of them. Okay, here it is. Yeah.
Generative AI is a branch of
As we know, also, there is a super easy to create the content in iSpring page. So when you are using iSpring Max, we can use the iSpring page in here, right? So when you click the page, you can create the course. Okay, I will. Okay. Hold on a second. I already created a lot of stuff. Yeah. When you press the space button and then just put the prompt, please create course curriculum about generative AI in here, right? Yeah. The iSpring page is based on the GPT from the OpenAI. So we can use the same feature in here. So I already created the whole course in here. So I will just show you the demos. Yeah, here. This one is the that I made it this morning. So I create the image by the DALL-E and everything. And also I just put the quiz through the iSpring page. You don't need to worry about I don't have any subscription in ChatGPT, right? But if you are using the iSpring page, you just create the quiz based on the original contents in here, right? Okay. If you also wanted to put some emojis in here, I also made some example. Yep. But anyway, so if you have a time, just put the prompt to create the contents with the emojis in here as well. Okay. The final thing that I prepared today is the thing is that, yeah, let's take a look at the one you need to consider when using generative AI. So in the HR side, right? So there is some bias to teach some contents, right? Like AI, the same. The same is true for generative AI. When training generative AI, the bias can vary depending on the data that they are using during the training. So we have to remove the bias through the fine tuning or lag. The fine tuning means to to train the AI one more in advanced technology, right? So the RAG is also the technology. The AI just answer based on the specific the documentation. So that remove the hallucination, right? So we have to consider those stuff, especially the data security and privacy. When you're using the generative AI, for example, OpenAI, we have to check the data ownership and security if they are the encrypt the data of the users. Okay. Yeah, here is also the Microsoft data security. And here is the example of the lag to remove the hallucinations. Okay, here is the thing that I prepared today. So if you have any question, just leave the message in the chat. Okay, thank you.
Perfect. David, thank you so much for the presentation. We actually had so many comments and discussions and even already pieces of advice spread around the participants. So I appreciate everybody's attention. Let's thank David in the comments. In the meantime, David, if you don't mind, we still have some good time. I would like to ask the questions that were already mentioned in the chat. Guys, if you have more questions, you're welcome to ask right now, but I'll probably begin with something more overwhelming, encompassing, and then go down to more technical questions. Is that okay for you, David?
Yeah, right.
Super, fantastic. Let's begin with the question that Jocelyn has raised, and that was to the opinion of so many people in the chat, an important one. So a lot of the trainings we do, says Jocelyn, says that internal information may not be secure in the AI websites. Is my data at risk when we're using any of the websites that you're showing?
Here is some example. If we are using the personal use of the ChatGPT, even if we are subscribed, the data so should maybe be trained by the OpenAI. But when we are worried about the prompt and data, so we can choose the OpenAI enterprise model that does not train our data, right? Yeah, totally separated from the other tenant, other customers. Yep. So we have to keep checking their data policy. Yeah.
Thank you very much, David. I hope that is insightful, Jocelyn. You also have received other answers and opinions of the other participants. And I think that's great that we have this very knowledgeable community that can advise each other and share their opinions. There is another question from Harla from Canada. After the training has been created with AI, how do we go about translating and training into another language? In Canada, most of our training has to be done in both English and French.
Yeah, this is a good question. So that is why if we need to improve the generative AI, the skill, like to understanding other language, we have to train the foundation model more. It's like fine tuning. Yeah. But if we are worrying just about the line, that I mean the hallucination, we just need to the leg. Yeah.
Right. There has been this discussion about RAG in the chat as well. Thank you,
Mhm.
David. We'll move on to another question from Kara. Kara is asking, will generative AI use the learning objectives to create quiz questions?
I can't understand exactly. So can you say
No
again?
worries. Of course, I will repeat that question. Maybe there is a connection issue as well. Does generative AI use the learning objectives? If we give generative AI some of the learning objectives that we need to complete, will generative AI be able to create quiz questions based on them?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the quiz that I made in the iSpring page is based on the original contents that I provided. Yep.
Mm,
The iSpring page is the create the quiz based on the prompt. Yeah.
right, right. Okay, thank you, David. Another question comes from Mangai. It's a
Mhm.
tricky question. Is there a tool that can create a text-to-speech voice that sounds like mine instead of choosing from preset options?
Yeah, it is possible. Yeah. So we can, like a deepfake, we can use our own voices, yeah, to create the contents. Yep.
Yeah? All right. Okay,
Yeah, there's
great.
a model like a DAL-E. So maybe we can just create the image through the DAL-E, right? But
Mm,
in Microsoft also created the VALL-E, the VALLE. VALL-E is create to our own voices. Yep.
okay, nice. Thank you. I'm sure the participants can research more about that if they're interested, based on your recommendation. Thank you. And then there is another question from Mark. Is that the text to speech narration limited to a number of characters per account or per month or something?
You mean the iSpring suite, Max,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Yeah, as long as I know, there is some uh, limitation, total number of characters that we can use per month. Yep.
yeah. Okay.
But if you have another the solution like a text to speech like the Google Voice and other stuff, right? You can create the MP3 file and then upload it to the iSpring Suite through the managed narration. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, David. Then another question I'd like to ask is about this Copilot that you showed in the document in the start of your demonstration. And
Uh,
this is when the magic started. And a lot of people were like, wow, David, this is so impressive. People were asking in the chat if this Copilot is free.
no, it's not free. It's the purpose for personal use. We have to pay $20 per month, and yeah. So the official uses is more. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then let's continue with another question that I have here. Is that only available with ChatGPT 4.0, David?
No, there's a lot of the company that they supporting the GPT-4 for free. In Korea, there is a written and other companies that they are using the Open AI's API to support GPT 4.0 for the Turbo. As long as I know, the Microsoft Bing also supporting the GPT-4. Yeah, as free.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Thank you very much. I see we still have an ongoing conversation in the chat, and that's fantastic. I still have several more questions to ask to David before we transition to our next speaker. And this is just the last moment for you guys to have a
Okay.
chance to ask David a question while he is generously with us. All right. The question I'd like to ask you, David, again, is a little bit more philosophical here is, what do you think is the most important thing to create e-learning contents in the generative AI? Kind of a more summarizing question for you.
Okay. So as I mentioned before, the most important thing to create the e-learning content is the speed. And the second one is the truth content. We have to remove the hallucination. So we have to create the content based on the original files. Yep. Because if we created a lot of the good contents, that is the long information, right? It's very difficult to spread the information to other people, right?
Right. That's correct. Thank you, David. I think this is really a very important thing that we have raised about the risks that are associated with the generative AI, especially for sensitive data in the companies. And there's been this discussion, which I think is really hot. Should we remember about anything else when we use generative AI? Should we be aware of something else that we didn't discuss yet?
Okay. So as we know, the ChatGPT is a large language model, LLM, right? So that means normally the lot of the LLM model is a public connection needed, right? But the organization like a military and a public sector, they don't want to connect their data to the internet, right? So in that case, we can use a small language model for them. So like Pi 3 and Llama and something like that. So we can download the AI model to our own data center or especially in our laptop as well. So we can use the AI internally without any internet connection. So that is more important in nowadays. Yep.
Right. Thank you, David. And I think I'll have the last question from Aaron Sweet, and we'll move on because we have a huge agenda on the go, but I'm sure we would love to continue this conversation with you, David. The question is as follows. Does the Copilot to PowerPoint application work with the PowerPoint template or only a new presentation?
Oh, you can use the previous the template. Yeah. So if you just choose the template and remove the whole slide, in the backend, there is a slide master, right? So if you create new slide based on the Copilot use your previous template. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much, David. I think here we'll put a pause, and as we all welcome our speakers to continue the session with us, it would be our pleasure to have you for the rest of the sessions. Maybe you can also continue the conversation in the chat with our participants and also input with the other speakers. But that's been amazing having you as an opening speaker. Thank you so very much, David. And I wish we'll have you next year at iSpring Days 2025.
Thank you, Chris.